Chango has been loyal to the company, and this one was actually made in dedication.
So he doesn't pay for any of them Changos. Got his name on it.
Hello, everyone. This is the Oak and Leaf Podcast, and we are inside what's going to be the future humidor of the Oak and Leaf Cigar Lounge. And with me is Christine, who is going to help me or help the Oak and Leaf Company fill out this awesome humidor. So what do we have? Well, first of all, can you tell our public who you are and what you do?
So I'm Christine, apparently. That's what you say.
Oh.
I'm Christine, or Harlem Cigar Chick.
Okay, Harlem Cigar Chick. Okay.
I am with Harlem Cigars. So we are actually a small boutique company currently based out of Atlanta. However, we do ship globally. We are a manufacturer as well as distributor of anything boutique. So we ourselves have our own brands, Harlem the Brother, Harlem Renaissance. We also do house sticks, but in addition to that, we also manufacture private labels, things like Dirty South Bankhead, Tristan Lee, Gomez Lopez, and so on. In addition, we also like to distribute high-end quality boutiques. Everything we do is hand rolls and long fillers. So you'll see here on my left, we have some selection from Principal. We have their Martinique and one of their best sellers, the Aviator series. And then, of course, one of my loves, DBL, which is Dominican Big Leaguers. Over here, we have La Tabla, which is trending right now. It's a beautiful box press, 7x64. And this beautiful box over here is what we call Chango. So Chango is extra special because it's made with a new hybrid tobacco. It's made with something called T13. It'll kick you in the face. That's why I said don't start with it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm doing that one next.
It's a face kicker.
It's a face kicker, and it's that T13. So T13 is a hybrid seed of a Cuban and Dominican seed.
Interesting.
Sounds
Now,
like sci-fi.
Is the filler, binder, and wrapper all T3?
T13, no.
T13.
So the wrappers we either do a Maduro or a Habano.
Okay.
But the actual binder itself is the T13.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting. Okay.
Awesome. And you call it, say that again?
So it's Chango.
Is that Chango?
No, it's not Chango. It's Chango. And Chango's
Chango.
actually, I love this part because DBL is all about love. All of these boutiques are. Chango is one of the farm workers that has been with DBL since the beginning. So we're about to celebrate our 13th anniversary.
Nice.
Chango has been loyal to the company, and this one was actually made in dedication.
So he doesn't pay for any of them Changos. Got his name on it.
Well, you have gifted us this nice cigar. What am I going to light up right now?
So that is the 35th anniversary. It was a little obsession of mine when I started. It is a fabulous, since you're drinking, it's a perfect time to do it. It's a sun-grown Ecuadorian Cameroon.
Sun-grown
Ecuadorian Cameroon.
Cameroon. Is it Cameroon or is it Ecuadorian?
It's an Ecuadorian Cameroon.
Ecuadorian.
So Cameroon is the kind of wrapper. Ecuador is where it comes from. Cameroon can come from different places.
Got it. So it was grown in Ecuador, but it's a Cameroon seed
Correct.
wrapper.
Correct.
Got it. Sun-grown.
Sun-grown.
So expect
Which
what,
is kind of a
thicker
cheat
leaf?
Ecuador.
Why is it cheating?
I mean, it's not. It's true. Yeah,
That's what.
but Ecuador couldn't actually grow wrappers for the longest time.
Okay.
Because
really?
No,
What, is it
they
the soil?
they were still covering it, trying to protect from the sun.
Got it.
They didn't realize that the clouds were doing natural filtration, which is why now so many sun-growns come from Ecuador.
Yeah. Very nice.
Interesting.
Well, I like this up. Do you have any questions for a while? I like this up.
I don't have any questions. I know that just one thing I want to say, though, is that this is the first official light up in the Oak and Leaf Company.
Correct.
All right, so let's do it.
So you have the Durame right there. So that's
Okay.
actually that beautiful humidor you see in the front. And then I'm smoking, of course, one of my favorites, which is the Harlem the Brother, the Maduro.
Yeah, we skipped over that one because we're ready to just light. All right.
We are really ready to smoke. I had to talk about my cigar.
So as we're lighting, so Christine, well, how did you get into cigars anyway?
I'm not bad.
Oh, perfect timing. I caught you slipping.
Well, I can't talk and light my cigar.
I thought you were still toasting.
Apparently I am a little bit. I actually fell into cigars by accident.
Okay.
20 years restaurant industry. I always enjoyed cigars.
Okay.
I mean, naturally in that industry. But I had taken a break and decided to do a magazine project. And I was trying to get companies to buy into the magazine as sponsors. And I walked into a really cute lounge in Lawrenceville, Georgia called Harlem Cigar Room.
Huh.
And I decided I was going to pitch my magazine concept to Felix, the owner,
Interesting.
and tell him he needs to buy in. It'll be great for the business. And he squashed me. 45 minutes of, nope, not going to work. And I had a rebuttal for every argument. And after 45 minutes, he goes, I'm going to try something different. And he turned around and offered me a job.
Oh,
He's
nice.
I'm the one he's been waiting for the company. Again, I could argue well. I can explain to you why I'm good for your company.
So he closed the deal, not you.
Uh-huh. Well, I
Interesting.
made him wait 6 weeks, but yes.
So some of the background stories that we met you at PCA, so Premium Cigar Association. And you had this aura about you. You had on your little fedora. Everyone's coming up to you. And the amount of confidence that you had when you said, I guarantee we'd like that cigar. And I was like, I doubt it. And you were right. Very impressed. I knew right then and there that we were going to work together when it comes to this. And here we are.
Awesome.
This is the second time you're on camera with the Oaken Leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for coming back.
You know,
I don't know what episode that was, but...
That was PCA. We had so many things there. I don't even know.
Well, the funny part is that was my first PCA. I actually had to
Really?
go. I've only been doing this, believe it or not, since November.
No,
So
nice.
I haven't even been in this since a year. But it shows them when you have passion for what you do, it's amazing what you can learn. And I genuinely believe in our cigars, which is why I sell them. People say, why don't you go to this company, this company? It's easier to sell a big name. Sure. But I love what we sell. I love the quality of our products. I stand behind it. I believe in it. And I believe in placing it in the right places, like Oaken Leaf.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and there's people sometimes want to knock on boutique cigars, and I don't know why they would do that. Because it's so premium, so long leaf, it's still put together well, and every cigar company started off as a boutique.
Correct.
So, but I'm glad that you guys are out there and that this is an option for a lot of.
You know why I think that problem is, though, is because when you look at the non-traditional smoker and one that window shops when smoking, they said, okay, I heard about Davidoff. I heard about Rocky Patel. So I'm just going to keep saying those. So if you don't have that one, that means you don't know anything about cigars. And there are thousands of cigars. So for people, they need to realize that the majority of cigars are boutique.
There's a fine line between things. People do like comfort, right? Especially if they're going to spend money on a cigar. They want a high-end cigar. They want something they're guaranteed to like. Hate to say it, spoiler alert, you're going to find cigars you don't like. Even if you buy the same one you love, you're going to fall into a day that it's the wrong cigar, something happened. It's okay. But people associate a lot of boutiques now with white labeling. And unfortunately, a lot of people are mass purchasing cigars in different places, throwing a label on it, calling it their own and putting it out there. It's not another boutique cigar. It's a mass-produced factory smoke that they're calling boutique. And some of them are boutique, but they, again, are just putting their name on it, and that's okay. There's a place for it. But it creates that divide. Like, everything on this table is their own unique blend. The things that we produce at Harlem, like Dirty South Bankhead, we manufacture it. It's its own unique blend. Tristan Lee, same thing. We manufacture it. It's completely different than Harlem the Brother, different than Renaissance.
So when someone wants to develop their own blend, what's the first step in that? They just contact Harlem Cigars?
Yeah, I mean, we play it a couple different ways. Some people know what they're looking for. Some people are really into it. I normally say, come and sit down and smoke with Felix and myself first. And what we'll do is kind of put a poo-poo platter of cigars in front of you and find out what your palate likes. But it also depends if you're making a cigar for your palate or just to put out there in the market. And there's a happy medium for that as well, right? The cigar I'm smoking right now, the Harlem the Brother Maduro, is Felix's favorite cigar.
Okay.
He tried, forgive me, I don't know, at least 14 different blends the same day before he found this one.
Wow.
Model left 2 of his favorite cigars. I won't name drop which they are, but I've tried both of those. I think this is much smoother.
Okay.
So it is his top selling. Sometimes you sell more of what you love the most, but there's fine that blend. Some people like things that are less than desirable to others.
Yeah, everyone has their own unique palate, right?
Right.
And it's interesting. You made a comment that I want to get back to, because you said you're mass producing it or for the public or something that you like. So that as far as Felix, I never met Felix, but do you think that when he's blending a cigar, does he have the public in mind, or he says I'm making a cigar that's for my palate that I like, and hopefully the public will like as well?
When you start playing with blends like that, after a while, you realize what's just a quality blend So he definitely has ones that he prefers less than others, but he knows that are good. We'll put it that way.
Mhm.
There are certain cigars that we won't carry in our lounge just because of the fact he doesn't like them, he doesn't believe in them, they're not consistent.
Okay.
Just fair.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things that we do carry that neither he or I would smoke that are very big popular cigars. People like what they like, that's okay.
Mhm.
So again, it's finding that mix and where you're taking your cigars. You know, when it has your name on it,
Yeah.
it says a lot. It's saying something about you.
Yeah.
Right? He's putting his brand on it, saying, I stand behind the
Mhm.
stick. It is quality. But there's sometimes that I disagree. And I'm like, I don't see what you see in that. That's
Mhm.
okay. Other people.
Yeah. That's why there's so many varieties. I think it's fascinating behind that because again, when it came to this one, I said, okay, absolutely not. I want to have this cigar, and that cigar. And I had to change my mindset because again, I'm not smoking every cigar in here and I'm not buying every cigar for myself. I need to buy for the public. So definitely with our initial opening, we're going to definitely make sure we steal what the public wants as well. But we definitely really want to pride ourselves in more than half of the cigars here to be in boutique because we want to bring to Chesapeake what's not there right now. Yeah. And I mean, I think it was interesting. You said, well, not a lot of people don't like it. I'm just liking it to alcohol. Fireball, can't stand Fireball.
Same. I don't
You know?
like it.
Yeah.
Like it
But
at
you
all.
know what? It is the number one selling whiskey for Sazerac.
I believe it.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
college kids drink. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing for this one. I mean, I won't name drop either, but there's one I absolutely don't want to have in there, but we can talk about that offline, but may have to reconsider it based on what the public wants.
And I think I already know which one you're going at. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
but we will have a whole side
Okay.
conversation about that. Oh, but I just lost my train of thought. So I was answering your question, something you said.
We're talking about Felix and
Talking about
Talk
blend.
about the blend. Does he blend for the public? Does he blend for himself? And,
yeah, I think you answered that one though.
Yeah.
and he said, and the thing is like,
I was going somewhere.
yeah.
Oh, that's something you
Yeah.
said. There we go.
There
Thank
we
you.
go. Go ahead, go ahead.
The missing
Came
part.
back.
Well, because you're talking about you want to be at least 50% boutique.
Yeah.
Okay.
And being a boutique rep, you hit certain walls, right?
Mhm.
I said people ask me, why don't you go for a bigger company? It's an easier sell.
Yeah.
And there's no question. I can walk in the door with a name brand and have a much easier sell than the boutiques. The reason boutiques are a harder sell for a lot of people is they need to love the cigars they're selling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Boutiques, sure, somebody might get curious and pick up something and want to try something different. But truthfully, they sell because the people behind the company are hand selling it. Try this. It tastes
Yeah.
like this. This is a great cigar.
Yeah.
So while you ask, does Felix make it for himself? I promise when you guys open, whatever the owners are smoking, people want to try.
This is
That's
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Good
the
point.
owner's pick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if the owner's leaning towards boutique and you know about boutique, it's not just there and
Mhm.
I don't know, like the rep was
Yeah.
cool, so I bought it.
Yeah.
But you want to tell them about it. Oh,
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
great cigar.
Yeah.
You want to get this drink from my bartender. Changes the game.
Yeah. And I really want us to bring an establishment that this is the only place you can get it, So I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this start. So first of all, what are you sipping on and what are you puffing on?
Okay. Well, I'm sipping on Old Fitzgerald. This is Bond and Bonded, 11 year.
You mean bottled and bonded?
Yeah.
You're doing bank terms.
Bond and bonded.
Yeah, so it's bottled and bond, 100 proof, 11 year.
And this is a 35
35th anniversary.
35th anniversary, DBL 35th anniversary.
What do you think so far on this one?
I think it agrees with my palate. It was a little peppery in the beginning. To me, it's a medium. Would you agree?
So I would call it a medium,
Mm-hmm.
but that means you also probably like a little bit fuller cigars.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at yours. Seems a little bit more fuller. Is it?
It's not,
It's not.
actually.
All of that plume is pretty
And,
intense.
and that can just be, part of it's the wrapper is different, right?
Okay.
You have the Ecuadorian versus the Maduro.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm a little envious of your plume.
we'll switch
You
up
got
if want
you
this
got you got
later.
plume
But
But so this
envy.
is not, but plume is actually what's going to develop on the outside after the age.
Okay.
So
Oh, after the age.
yes.
Really?
So actually, sometimes people look at their cigars and they think they have mold on the cigars.
Okay.
Mold turns colors.
Okay.
Plume are these beautiful little crystals that happen that develop as the cigar ages. It comes from the oils in the wrapper itself.
Yeah.
Got
When
it.
you have plume, though, it's a beautiful thing. They're delicious. But it actually makes the cigar more mild. So the more age on the cigar, the
Like,
smoother it
Uh-huh.
becomes. It's just like a nice wine.
Yeah.
It becomes
It's a
smoother with
mild.
age.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, that's a beautiful thing about the whiskey and cigars. Same kind of journey. You know what I mean? You want those older ones. You want that what I call the rickhouse funk behind it, but it's smooth because again, the age process is very low, like 20 year, 21 year. I mean, they're very smooth. You know what I mean? And they're not as the proof is usually under 100 proof. So right now, I'm sipping on some Michter's 10 year. It's nice and smooth.
Make this 10 year. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you know, I think that people want to be educated.
Mm-hmm.
They want to learn about the cigar that they're smoking. They want to know about cigars. Same thing as with whiskey. And they also like to hear, they want to know the story behind the cigar. Like, what is DBL? What does that mean? Okay, does he play it at baseball? No, his dad are enthusiasts of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And in the, you know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, yeah, I got it. And people love that history, that backstory.
Agree.
And the more I know as a retailer, soon to be, the better I can educate the public and tell them about that nice history. Same thing with whiskey. Some of these some of these whiskeys go back generations, right? And they'll have a great story behind it. And sometimes people are going to drink that whiskey based on the story. Yep. And smoke the cigar based on the story as well. Right?
I'll say the story sells better sometimes than the knowledge of the product.
The story.
I'll find this because some people are very eager to learn and that's exciting, but some people are very eager to fight. And they're very eager to say, I know best. And I've learned quickly in this industry that I'm like, okay, you know, I'm going to put forth what I've heard and
whatever.
you learn when to nod and smile.
Like,
But a story sells. That is a fact.
Okay. So we'll say that you have a beautiful selection of cigars out here. Okay. My question to you is, based on what you have right here,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a cigar that will fit everybody's palate in this lineup?
Actually, I put out one of my other ones.
Okay.
But I would say actually the barber pole is a great place.
Oh.
Everybody is hard. Everybody is, I mean, an infinite number. And when you have certain sweets and infused people, to a certain point, they won't be happy with anything I have. Nothing we have is infused or anything like that. So there's a certain palate I can't touch.
Okay.
It just isn't. Now, our barber pole is a true medium. And when I first started smoking with Felix, probably smoked more than I sold. Not gonna lie, it was just like, he's like, you have to try something else. I was like, but why? It's great. It's just, it's a happy place. But our Connecticut is a natural sweet tip Connecticut when we do it separately.
Okay.
So normally we'll use that as kind of our gateway for people. They come in, they ask for something sweet. Like, why don't you try this? We do a natural sweet tip on it so the tobacco is untainted, but we just actually sponge the tip with some pure sugar cane. It leaves a sweetness on your lips.
Okay.
It keeps the Connecticut from getting bitter, but it fades as you smoke. So it'll get people off guard a little bit first. But it's a nice medium cigar.
Yeah.
So it still has a body to it. Whereas the barber pole is nice, and this is why I say it to everybody, because you have both your Connecticut and your Maduro.
Okay.
So it is this fun roller coaster ride of a cigar. It's never overpowering. It just builds as it goes.
Okay. Continue, please.
Mm.
What else do we have?
Well, since I'm still on the first third, this one right here, this one is the DBL Maduro.
That's the Durame.
Durame.
Which is actually, believe it or not, so it is a Maduro, but it's not the Maduro line.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And this is Durame the third. Is this a third iteration of it?
It was, yes.
Okay. Very smooth, pretty even keel. They're smoking this one. This one for me would be someone that, you know, they dabble a little bit in cigars, that kind of stuff, but they want something that's going to last. It's going to be smooth. I'm getting earth tones, nice hay. It's a good, steady cigar. I'll see what the second and the last third does.
Again, we call that one again a medium to full.
Okay.
It depends on your starter palate. Right. That's what I say. And that's why I don't want to start you with a full, because then that one doesn't have the same punch to it.
I could see that because, this would definitely have been muted if I went with the full.
But the age on that cigar is why it is also so mild for you and so smooth. It is highly aged. I mean, I don't own any of the factories or the farms. I'm just a rep for the companies. I do not own the rights to any of the factories.
I think you can still claim ownership, though.
You feel like part of the team.
Yeah.
I feel like in this day and age, you have to say, like, I don't own the rights. That being said, I mean, DBL has over 500 acres alone in the DR.
Okay.
We have a ton. We're actually working now with Amish in Pennsylvania for the Pennsylvania broadleaf.
Huh.
So everything we know, we're getting direct because all the
Mhm.
wrappers we do imports. But our factory in DBL has over 5 years worth of tobacco just sitting at any good time.
So let me
Like-
ask you. You mentioned Amish. Are they smoking?
I couldn't tell.
They won't tell you. Okay. All right.
They're not
All right.
torch. I wonder if
I-
they use
Yeah.
a torch.
I tried.
I mean, technically, this goes back to ancient days.
It does.
So,
True. Yeah.
But that comes down to a whole different person.
Yeah. I want to see. I'd like to see Jebediah like puff on one of these. That'd be cool.
Jebediah.
Jebediah.
We learned it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's interesting. That's you always hear about tobacco as like Caribbean, Mexico, Central America,
mhm,
but there is a history in the United States of tobacco, right?
mhm,
Connecticut,
Yep.
Pennsylvania, right? Tampa,
mhm.
and Florida has tobacco fields also, so it's good that. So which one has a Pennsylvania? That one?
None of these right now.
Okay.
I have one
Oh,
for
you-
later that has a Pennsylvania product.
Okay, got it. So somebody is there? Is it blended with other tobaccos from around the world? Is it mostly all?
So everything is predominantly Dominican.
Okay.
That one actually has an Ecuadorian binder on it, so you have a little bit. That's the Dominican through and through, but then your wrapper's Ecuadorian,
Okay.
right?
got
The
it.
one I'm smoking, the Harlem Brother, is all Dominican, long filler, first generation Cuban seed,
Okay.
but a San Andres Maduro product.
Okay.
Okay. So what about your Cigarillo Lancero fans? Do you guys carry anything like that?
I love the Lancero. I could have lived Lancero. So actually, we do Lancero and Harlem the Brother.
Okay.
We do it both with the Sweet Tip Connecticut as well as the Maduro, and then DBL themselves also does a Maduro Lancero.
Okay.
Question: let's see who knows it.
Okay.
What packs more punch, a 660 or a Lancero?
Lancero.
Lancero.
Why? He's
Because
really excited.
well, this is my thoughts. You are the sensei here, so you correct me, right? So all right. So I think because it people always think about the strength of the flavor cigar by binder, wrapper, filler, but there's another component, and that's how you dilute the nicotine with every puff, right? So to me, the Lancero is you're not sucking a lot of wind, so it's concentrated. Nicotine is more concentrated because it's like if you were to dilute a certain particular. I'm going back to my medical medicine days, but you can dilute something in a big bag of saline,
Mhm.
dilute it in a little bit, and it's more punch when it's small. So to me, with a Lancero, you're not diluting that as much. So when you take a drag, it's going to hit you a little bit harder. You're going to feel the strength of the nicotine. Anyways,
I like your answer. I like your
but it's
answer.
wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong either. The phrasing just
Okay.
different how to do it, but I want to hear Gerald's
Mhm.
answer because you also said you knew. So
Well, is the right answer Lancero?
well, I'm not gonna tell you. I want to hear his answer.
Uh,
The teacher doesn't get the answers to the test before
Okay, got
the.
I think because with Lancero, because of the diameter of it, you really can't blend that many types of leaf in there because there's not room for that. So you're going to have more of the strength of an actual part of the leaf than you would when you're doing it with a larger, like a 660.
That's closer to how I'd say it. So yeah,
Okay.
Lancero is, and the easy way to say it is there's more wrapper.
There's more wrapper.
You have less binder filler. Binder filler is what dilutes it. Essentially,
Yeah.
it adds flavor.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is I'm not sure it's like a controversial topic, but people always say, and I've heard this before, that the majority of the taste comes from the wrapper. Now, I think that it all matters. The
Mhm.
binder matters, the filler matters, the wrapper matters, and also the different vitola matters, right?
Yes, it does.
Because especially the figurados, when they have different, it might be pointy and it balloons up and it goes small again. You are drawing in different volumes of air, and it's going to change how you're perceiving the taste of the nicotine or the flavors of the cigar.
100%. I mean, it actually comes down to the cut too.
And the cut.
The cut's a
Yeah.
huge way of
Mhm.
how
Yeah.
people taste
Yeah.
it.
So talk to me about the cut for like, why choose, why, I mean, I have a V cut now.
Mm-hmm.
Why a V versus a punch versus a guillotine versus any other cut?
So, I mean, traditionally, and I would say, if you go to the factory, they're going to tell you use your nail and just take a little bit off the cap. That's
Mhm.
all that you need to take
Or
off.
some people bite.
Right?
You
Mhm.
bite
They
it.
bite it. But when they bite it, that's when you see them blow out.
They blow out.
So
Because you're pulling off the
don't
cap when you
actually
bite it.
remove the entire cap, right? They just
Yeah.
take a little bit
Yeah,
with their nail
exactly.
and clip it off.
Yeah.
I tell them though, like if you have really cheap false nails, it's not going to work very well, which has to be. But so sometimes that's enough. I recommend a punch for first-time smokers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially if they smoke other things like cigarettes. Because they're used to pulling so hard and inhaling all the way.
Yeah.
By putting a punch first, it's going to almost limit their draw. So it makes it a little bit easier to go slower. I just tell people.
All right, so
That makes sense.
the goal of the punch for a beginner is going to limit their draw.
A little bit. Especially, again, cigarette smokers are like the big ones that I work with. I said, have you smoked a cigar? No. Do you smoke cigarettes? Yes. Former cigarette smoker.
Okay.
You used to draw all the way, you inhale it down to your lungs and all the way out. You don't want to do that with a cigar.
Yeah, okay.
You will be sick with the cigar.
Okay.
So while you tell people that, it's still hard to break an actual natural reaction, right? You're smoking, you want to inhale. The punch is going to slow that down a little bit.
You're
You
just
don't have as much air.
training them how to smoke.
Essentially.
Oh,
People who want the guillotine or the flat cut, they want that full mouth of smoke. You see people, Winston Churchill was known, right, for the constant cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
Out. That's because they're taking in a full mouth of smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the V cut, I also prefer. My husband actually likes the double V, so he'll actually do it like a cross section.
Yeah, I've done that every once in a while, especially if the gauge is greater than 60.
Yes.
I call it a crown cut.
So the reason that the V cut was so strategic is because of where you taste. So the V cut sends the smoke up and sends the smoke down. So it goes to the back of your nasal passage and to the back of your palate. So in theory, you're hitting both places, so you're getting optimal flavor.
Got it.
Now, for some people, it does change the heat index as you get towards the end. That's when people start using pokers and things like that, because the heat does build up because you have a narrow passage as opposed to a flat.
Does that, as far as the heat, so I've had some cigars where the heat is pretty consistent, or it seems cool all the way. Is that what contributes to that? Is that the way?
I think that's a tight wrapper is what
Actually,
supports
a lot
that.
that's gonna be your filler. So your filler normally did.
Oh, I didn't mean when I said tight wrapper. I didn't mean the wrapper itself. I just meant as far as how tight it's.
Right, but the filler itself actually changed a lot of that. So, like I described when I was talking about the filler of the Harlem Cigar, it's a Ligero Seco filler. So you have the driest leaf with a wetter leaf bound. So the Seco is the dry part of the leaf. That part wants to go up in flames. So when you see some of the short filler, all of a sudden it burns really fast the second half, right? They didn't put anything moist to actually cover the second half of it. The Ligero Seco keeps it nice and even. So you see, I haven't even been rotating it, but it's a nice even burn all the way down. That's when you can tell that this is good filler. It could be the wrapper. Sometimes the burn point is the cigar's dry. It can go up really fast if it's too dry, just because it's a dry leaf. That'll happen.
Yeah, mine's pretty even as well.
It goes back to taking care of your cigars too, right? If you're not set the right humidity, you burn fast, or it just is like a dud.
Yes.
Probably,
And things get too humid, then they tend to go out. I mean, living in the South, humidity happens, and there's days where people have to relight more than not. Another big one is even just people who ash too often. I just did it because I'm wearing white and I didn't want to ruin it. But I can hear Felix yelling at me, actually. By ashing too soon, you actually cool down the burning point of the cigar, which tends to make it go out more.
Yes.
So leaving that natural ash a little bit longer keeps it burning.
That I've heard that also contributes to the flavor. Having that the ash, the wrapper, the vitola, filler binder, it all matters. It all matters in how you enjoy your cigar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel embarrassed because I got ash too soon.
See? And that's out.
Is that out?
Rookie.
No, he's a little bit. I've been yelling, there he's going to make it happen. Because now you just see it's a little uneven. So just make sure you rotate it with the ventilation. Although our ventilation is doing great.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. So anything else? So can you just pick that cigar up really quick and just show what we have there? Because it's this is like what would you call it? Barbershop kind of.
So they call it
Barber
pole, or traditionally they call it a double kappa.
Double kappa.
So a true double kappa, which this one is actually made with two wrappers. They're not just cut. Right. So there's two layers of wrapper on it.
And do they wrap it at the same time, or is it individually? two wrappers at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what are the two? One is Maduro, one is Connecticut.
Yep.
You're saying, okay. Yeah, I've seen one do that with like, was it Candela?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Candela, I've seen recently it's made a comeback. I know it was popular in the 70s and 80s, especially if you ever watch Columbo. I mean, that's what he smoked was Candela. But especially at PCA, so many of those. Does Felix make any Candelas?
We do Candela as well. We haven't really found the upswing on it.
Okay.
A lot of people find it light. Right now,
Yeah.
people are pushing for medium plus.
Yeah, because I see a lot of barber poles usually use a Candela to try and get a little bit more strength out of it to balance. You know, it's a stronger wrapper to combine with that Candela.
It's a little tricky to with the Candela because it kind of looks a little bit like not completely matured or like fermented, right? And with that, if you don't do it correctly, it might have some bitterness in that Candela.
And people have a weird association with things that are green. They really do, though. They look at a green cigar. It is not as appealing as the rest.
No.
Yeah,
your brain goes, that's just not right. I mean, we all know leaves are green when they start.
Yeah. But this looks like kind of like chocolate, right? And your brain automatically thinks, oh, that must be tasty, right? Yeah. Interesting. That's a good selling point, right? Or if you're a business owner, you think about presentation.
Presentation sells.
Presentation, right?
You know, there's different, Principal does beautiful things. I was talking about them. They're very clean and simple on some of them, and then a little bit more ornate on the others. They like very high-end finishes. So you'll find like on the foot of that one, the band is actually cloth. It's an actual fabric band. But little splashes of color. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be appealing to the eye. There can be overdone, underdone.
Mm-hmm.
But more important, picking them up is the look, but then the band itself has to be executed well.
Yes.
So the glue on the band is one of those happy places. Some people destroy their cigars trying to take the bands off.
Yeah.
And I've learned recently that actually in a lot of other countries, it's faux pas to actually keep your band on.
Yes.
This is the very American thing to do because we want to brag and
well,
look what I'm smoking.
In Europe, they tend to remove the band before they smoke it.
Because
even before that, I mean, some countries, manufacturer-wise, they don't even put a band on it. They have that huge cancer death picture on there, and there's no actually. When we were at when I was at LFD during Pro Cigar, that's something that we saw. Is that when they were wrapping it up, all of the beautiful wrappers from LFD had no wrappers on it.
Yes,
it was just a plain old that. So I think because of that kind of mentality, that's probably another reason why a lot of them pull this off.
So like Canada's a big one that does it. They don't let you do any of the fancy labels because they don't want to attract attention of minors, which is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Right. It is. I find it interesting because personally, it kind of levels the playing fields. You really have to try things to know what you like. You can't buy it with your eyes the same way. But in Europe, they do it mostly because they feel like it's pretentious. You don't want to be smoking a Davidoff next to someone smoking a house stick.
They're really big on that in Europe.
It's supposed to be more of a level playing field.
Yes.
I actually know a gentleman who was at a bar out there, and everyone was looking at him because he left the band out of his cigar, and he didn't know what was happening. And he asked the bartender, he goes, well, you're supposed to take the band off. He goes, but I'm supposed to destroy my cigar. He goes, what do you mean? And it's true, the longer you smoke, it actually naturally warms the glue, making it easier for you to take the label off as well. Yes. So there's a happy medium between the two, so you don't ruin the wrapper.
Interesting because it's a cultural thing, right? Because they think in Europe, they don't want to be too showy, right? Like I have $100 cigar, you're smoking that $3 cigar.
But they walk around in designer stuff all day.
Okay.
So there's still
there's other ways to show off, right? But in the cigar culture in Europe, it's a level playing field, right?
Correct.
So you take your bands off. It's like being everyone's naked in the sauna, and you don't know who's. Right?
What?
I don't know
that's your analogy.
or they're called naked cigars, right? When they're not dressed.
Yeah, I don't know. That would have been that analogy.
It was an interesting association.
It was an interesting association, but you're all. It's a way to like make everyone equal in a sense.
Look, I love my bands on that stuff, you know what? And I will have to say that the bands that he has on his assortment are top notch, you know. And I think that's important because when you look at some of the brands that everybody knows, they're attracted to it because of the name.
Correct.
So for the other ones, the boutiques, sometimes you need to put a little bit more, sometimes you got to dress up the ugly girl, so that they go to prom.
You gotta put a little-
Or the ugly dude. Ugly dude.
You looked right at
Let me.
I looked right at the camera and said that, but now when you watch on replay, the ugly girl. Heard. I want my cigars back.
But how do you recommendations for the novice that wants to pick out a cigar, right? Because you can look. Presentation is important. You're looking at the label. Well, that's a pretty label, but there are other things that you look for in a cigar, just to know that this is a good quality, as far as quality at least, right? To know that I'm going to enjoy the cigar, or that it's going to be a good cigar.
There's so much to know about cigars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with that. Like, it's very hard to just look at a cigar and be like, that's gonna be a good cigar.
Yeah.
Actually played this game with Francisco at PCA, and I had craftsmanship cigars, and like, if I liked it, I took the band off. Tell me what you think. Tell me why. And there's a brand out there. It's another boutique brand that I'm trying to work with that I think they're fabulous. But he looked at it and he goes, okay, but it's like a grade B wrapper because it's a little veiny, and I don't mind seeing the veins. The biggest thing is make sure you don't have the holes.
Yeah.
Holes?
The biggest thing are the holes. That's hands down.
Holes means what? Worms.
Beetles.
Beetles. Yeah, beetles. Yeah.
But that again comes down to handling or the original treatment of the cigars. Initially, the cigars should be frozen to kill off the ability for the beetles to grow. But beetles naturally grow out of the tobacco. It's kind of crazy. When they get too much sunlight, they get too hot. They actually develop a little beetle, and it's like an apple. It comes up right out.
Really?
But they will spread. They are like the hungry little caterpillar.
But the thing is, like the quality control, they'll freeze it before they wrap it, or freeze it after it's been wrapped.
It depends on, but before it is shipped out, they should be pre-frozen.
Okay.
So that it kills the beetle. Now, it can still happen, right? If I left any of these out in the sun long enough, there's a good chance that the beetles will develop. It's still tobacco.
What?
You don't want direct sunlight. You don't want high heat.
Okay.
Sounds like a gremlin.
Oh, like a gremlin, yeah.
Correct.
So after midnight.
But you also really don't want to freeze your cigars unless you have to. No, if you find a beetle in a box or something like that, you can put the whole box in the freezer for 48 hours, make sure you kill everything off, boil it out.
Okay.
It'll most likely still be a fine cigar for you.
Okay.
However, have you ever frozen bread?
Yeah.
And then eaten it?
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Not frozen.
No.
No, but you thought and eat it, right?
It's been a while.
But it's not.
It's been a while.
But it's not. It's good, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Tobacco's the same way because there's a lot of oil in it.
Yeah.
When you freeze it, it isolates it. It never redistributes 100% the same way.
And then you're actually adding water to it by freezing it as well.
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
No.
So, all right. So, no holes. It should feel like a cork, right? It shouldn't be too hard or too soft. And then I've always noticed that it should have a nice, like, little luster to it. It doesn't have to, like, be, the oily ones really shine, but they all should have a nice little luster to it, right? And what else?
Well, I'll say this. Well, you don't want the holes because you don't want beetles in a humidor. You can still smoke them.
Really?
Yes. They're still fine.
It's like moldy bread. You just rip off the mold part.
No,
Since we're talking about bread.
Because here's the thing. The beetle climbed out.
Oh, that's
The beetle made its way out. And you can always tell, too, there are times where you'll find packaging where you see the hole in the cigar, but you don't see a hole in the cellophane. That means the beetle was in there, made its way out, but in the freezing process died off. It just didn't get caught.
Got it.
Okay.
So when there's active beetles, they will come out through the cigar, through the cellophane, and you'll start getting. But you
They
can see
will
people
eat their way through the cellophane.
and they'll go into the nest. They'll go through boxes. They'll jump boxes. Actually, if you let them long enough, they'll.
Damn.
And they just look like a teeny tiny little crumb.
Wow.
Well, hopefully, by the time we get, it's not any cigar is susceptible to that, like from any factory.
But here's the thing: it shouldn't happen unless they are mishandled.
Got it. Makes sense.
If it's happening and they are being handled properly, then that goes back to where they came from originally, not from mishandling.
Okay, I just noticed before I pull this wrapper off, there's a QR code on this one. Okay. I noticed they're not in all of them, so I'm assuming this talks about the notes of the cigar.
So you'll find some in the DBO. We're trying to work on growing it. There's a lot of them that have the QR code. It'll take you to the page.
Okay.
It'll talk about the history of the cigar, the notes on the cigar, all the information as well.
Awesome. That's pretty good. Very informative. I've been looking at this one all day, and I got to find out how this one get the name the Dirty South.
So that's Dirty South Bankhead. That is one of the brands that we manufacture, and Jay is the owner of this brand. He's actually owner of Big Boy Cigars. And this is because he grew up on South Bankhead in Atlanta. And so this is his little homage to home.
Got it. That's cool. Okay. So I'm going to put you on the spot right now. I'm walking in, never had a cigar before, really want to try something, but I'm a little hesitant. Grab a cigar from this pile and sell me on that cigar. Why should I smoke that one as my first cigar?
So not fair.
That's why I didn't tell you I was going to ask you that.
I don't like them. I'd probably actually lean towards the Renaissance. The Sumatra right here, it's very smooth. It's very approachable. That or the Martinique.
Okay.
I'd say the Martinique, personally, while it's a Connecticut, can pack a little more punch. Between these two would be a safe place. I'd say because of the smaller size on this one, it's going to have a little bit more. Whereas the Solomon, it's going to be a nice long smoke.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to burn evenly. It's very smooth, almost creamy on the
Got
palate.
it. Okay.
Oh, and I didn't put any starter cigars out, so I apologize.
Yeah. No, I would just, because again, so part of the Oak and Leaf Company is education on whiskey, education on cigars. So it's nice to have cigars for the novice that comes in here and wants to just try something and where to kind of lead them to.
And it's funny too, a lot of people assume the lighter the wrapper, the lighter the cigar. And
Big myth.
A lot of people are outing that lid, which I'm happy about. But more often than not, we're finding, especially like Habanos tend to pack more punch than a Maduro. But again, every palate's different. So Habanos tend to be spicier, which some people then think are fuller.
Yeah.
But it really depends on the spice level, how your palate actually takes something in. An Ecuadorian Cameroon versus an African Cameroon, right? You said it was a little peppery to start. The African Cameroons tend to be really spicy to start. So
there's no more pepper on this. This is mild.
It just evened itself out. But some people might say that's really spicy.
Oh, really?
Everyone color is different.
So finding that little happy place, it really does take some experimenting and starting to see what you like, allowing it to build.
Yeah.
And then finding the pairing for it.
Yeah. But also when you talk about medium versus full, people always associate it with strength. It's not necessarily always strength. It's the flavor and the complexity of it.
And how it hits your palate.
Yeah.
Strength is more nicotine.
Yes.
And mild, medium, full can be associated with the fullness, like the creaminess that you with the plume. And so, or like someone compared it to the difference between drinking water and milk, right? They're both liquids. Milk is, you feel.
You're talking about the viscosity behind it.
Viscosity. It's the viscosity, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. You have a great plume. I still have plume envy.
You're still calling it plume. That's
what do you call it?
We call it a bouquet.
A bouquet.
Bouquet.
So
bouquet.
I like that.
I'm going to show you a picture of plume when we're done here and show you what actual crystals of plume look like.
Okay. All right. So you're saying plume as you're talking about the crystals on the wrapper. Okay.
I'm going to have to send you this picture so you can share it.
Okay.
But some people, and there's huge debates over plume.
Really?
There's huge debates. There's been studies that saying that most plume that people see is actually mold and it's dangerous. The next thing is tobacco really does kill just about everything. Like, Felix tells the stories about when you were a kid and they got a cut. They would wet a piece of tobacco leaf and put it on the cut and just let it because it would heal it. So I've seen people with a moldy cigar and they're white, but opposite. It'll be fine. But plume itself are little crystals that actually will develop on the outside of it. I'll see if I can show the camera if I can get a picture of it.
It's good to differentiate between mold and actual crystals, right? Do they look different to you?
Yes. So, I mean...
Is it moldy like you left like strawberries too long in the refrigerator?
Mold tends to pick up a color. Plume does not. That's normally the start point. But we had actually our Big Mamas, because like I said, there's a lot of age. So Big Mama is one of the DBL brands. They're 770, and I had found a bunch actually that obviously had just been aging, and every shop I went into that had them. I found Plumero. And I was like, this is like a gold mine. Like, you guys don't actually realize
Mhm.
how much amazing stuff you have here. And it really is just that simple. When that plume develops, it's just saying that it's aging beautifully.
Okay.
It's safe to smoke. You don't have to wipe it off. You don't have to
Okay.
lick it off. Some people, some people are cigar lickers. Sorry, that's
Alright.
weird.
I've never seen that before.
You never seen
Oh,
cigar
lick
lickers?
what?
People licking their
Yeah.
cigars.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it might take them 10, 15 minutes to light it, and all they do is keep licking it like it's a
Uneasy.
lollipop. Yeah. And then again, don't do that, especially if you're using a public cutter.
Yeah.
I don't want you to
please
sit
don't
on
do
my
that if you're using public cutter. Also, just consider the fact that when you keep licking, again, you're destroying the cap. As long as you don't care that your cigar blows out. But please don't step on your cigar, dip your cigar, and then go back to the owner and say, my cigar blew up. You're adding moisture to something. It is a leak.
You mentioned dipper. You know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is a
It's a huge
big
thing.
dipper.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's tequila. I think he.
That's
Yeah.
That looks like crystals. Yeah, and it's kind of like those little white crystals.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to develop that?
Years normally.
Years, really. Now the thing is, maturing a cigar.
Oh, okay.
That's a part of the process of maturing a cigar. We'll share that photo with our guys at home. Yeah. Yeah. Do you? Most cigars are already aged and matured before they're boxed and sent out.
Yes.
Is there any benefit to additional maturing in your own personal humidor at home?
It'll keep aging. So it continues to get smoother as you let it sit. So if you ever buy a cigar, like let's say you buy a box and you regret it because you had that first one, you're like, oh, let it sit for 6 months. Hold it properly. Try it again 6 months. It continues to age and change and get smoother as you go. And I've had people say it was terrible when it started, but now.
Yeah, and usually I'll always buy at least 2 cigars, because if the first one sucked, I'll just put it up, and just like I'll revisit it at a later time. And a lot of times you're absolutely right. It is better the second time around.
You ever smoke a cigar and like, boy, this is a good cigar, right? Now, when you say that, what is making you say that? What's triggering you to say this is a good cigar? And then I feel like sometimes it's hard to put into words when you just pause, like, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What are we saying when we say it's a good cigar in those moments?
Me personally,
yeah.
I was like, 'cause again, all of this is relative. The number one thing I look at is the draw.
100%.
Draw to me is very important, but draw also comes down to cuts. Sometimes if you don't cut it right, I've cut mine in a hurry and it's uneven, and you can feel it burns differently, it pulls differently. So the draw is number one. The actual structure, it's not super soft in my hands. I'm not struggling or fighting with it in any way, shape, or form. If it squishes, it's probably going out. Right.
Yeah.
I like depth of flavor. Again, the restaurant industry background to me, I like being able to pull out notes. I'm that annoying person.
Yeah.
I realize I have to test my audience because sometimes I'm like, ooh, I can taste them. Like, stop. It's a cigar. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I like getting different notes. I normally can taste cocoa.
Yeah.
I can taste spices. I can taste the earthiness. You're talking about hay.
Do those notes sneak up on you, or are you like smoking a cigar with the intent to pull these notes? You know what I mean? Or is this something like turn off the music, or the music in the background, you're by yourself and enjoying a cigar, and that allows you, no distractions, that allows you to appreciate the notes of a cigar?
I mean, I'm a chatty Cathy. So I'm really talking to somebody at all the times.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're able to appreciate his notes even though you have all these distractions.
Yeah. If I'm going to focus on my cigar, I'm going to focus on my cigar. But especially with Dominicans, I'm not going to knock anybody else. I just know most about Dominicans. Like I tell you, there are a lot of roller coasters. They're ever changing. So you kind of wait for that change. But if I'm drinking something, I try to always try my cigar without drinking something else with it. And I think first to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Then I like to see what happens when I add a drink.
Yeah.
But it's going to change the cigar. I also retrohale.
Oh, me too.
Retrohale changes the entire flavor profile because now you're going out through your nasal passage. One of the cigars that I love from DBL is the Dominica. It is a beautiful cigar. I think that's when I told you you're going to love this cigar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I give away every sample. I stand on trying to make that one the cigar of the year. It is a brilliant cigar. It's a true medium through and through. It's actually a Nicaraguan seed Dominican growth. So again, all the flavor profile of the Nicaraguan, but it's smooth. It's a true medium start to finish. So it's very palatable for everybody. Yeah. But you get roasted nuts and berries on the front. But when you actually retrohale, you get citrus.
Really? Where you get like orange peel?
Mm-hmm.
I've had that recently. I smoked this cigar and I got nothing but citrus out of it. It was fascinating. But me, the same kind of question you asked, I call it the shut the fuck up cigar, meaning that it is so good. I don't want anyone to talk to me. I want to just sit in the corner and just smoke it, Or what I also do, if I look at a cigar like this, that's a good cigar. Or if I have to take a dagger out and I'm just like a crackhead trying to get to the end.
Okay, I'm the fingertip.
Yes.
I know. My husband uses a poker for the life of me. Like, he even sent me the poker just in case. I was like, we'll see. I'd rather, I guess, let it burn my fingertips because I know I appreciate it. If I'm letting it burn me all the way down, so I got it like.
And Lito,
Put it down.
Nope.
Lito Gomez he says people smoke cigars the wrong way. He said, when you're enjoying, like he said, if I'm enjoying a cigar that's over 10, 20 years, he will not smoke it with anyone. He will sit in the corner and he will just enjoy that cigar. Because when people are talking to you, that kind of stuff, you can't see the transition. I love when you break a cigar down and the first third is different than the second third, is different than the third. So that's one thing that I look for when I'm smoking a cigar. I look to see those changes. The second third on this one was, I felt the strength in it. So that medium plus, that plus really came out in that one. And then it's settling down now. So slight buzz on this one, which is nice, which is what I like to get from that. I want to get some kind of strength in that cigar, and I'm starting to get it with this one.
You like your cigars like you like your whiskeys, right?
Yes.
You want that. You want to feel it. You want
to get punched in the face.
Well, that's not a punch in the face, but
it's not. But you told me to warm up, so I'm warming up.
And then, but again, it's one of those things. But for some people, that could be
true.
And that's that reality of, again. And I asked our guests in the room too. So it's just, what do you like? Like, you haven't tried what I have. And I think that's my favorite game to play with people is tell me what you like. Because I'm going to give you something completely different than what you told me. Because I want to turn you into something new and different. I think that's the best way to work with boutiques. Somebody tells me, I want a Maduro. I said, here, try my sun-grown Ecuadorian camper.
Okay.
Try this instead. And I like, because that aha moment takes you out of your comfort zone. That is that transition into testing boutiques. When someone goes, I promise you. And I've done it at our lounge several times. I said, try this. If you don't like it, I'll personally buy you a new one. I've done it at other people's lounges when I do an event. If you don't like it, I'll buy you something from the humidor.
Okay.
These are boutique. Can you explain to our public, what does it mean when you say boutique?
Boutique means that there are less than 1 million produced and circulated annually.
So that's like
that's technically a definition.
That's the textbook definition, right? Now, some people hear the word boutique and they say, well, it means other things, as in the how is production behind it, right? Like, I've been to cigar factories where it's high tech all the way through, right? And I've been to other cigar factories where they produce a lot of cigars, but it's like
old school.
There's a grandma there testing it out, and grandma's lighting it, and they're it's like a small group of people kind of like blending stuff, and but they're producing a lot of cigars that would not fall within that boutique definition. But they pride themselves in doing like old school way. They're not using AI. They're not using computer lasers, whatever, to try quality control.
That's a great example because Casa Carrillo is considered in some places a boutique cigar. And they are old school. When you go to their factory, you won't see any temperature probes, nothing like that at all. They have their experts going around, and all they do is smell and touch the leaf and determine when it's ready for production. It's fascinating.
Which is, some people use a hygrometer. Some people, they test it with all these instruments. Then you have people, they just touch it. Like, not a little bit more, needs a little bit more.
Yep. They smell it.
They smell it, like it's not there yet. And they put it back, which is very interesting. Now, I guess all boutique cigars, are they constructed in that sense, in old school way? Or I wonder, you could probably incorporate, using that definition, you can use high tech stuff, low volume.
Well, I think she gave the definition of 1 million.
Was it
million sold is what she mentioned. Yeah.
Well, 1 million
produced
for sale.
%.
So, because I mean, you're producing them, but your aging it also changes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
True.
the difference. Like those big mamas I was telling you about, right?
Yeah.
They were obviously produced years ago before they ever hit my hands to put them on somebody's shelf.
Yeah.
Right. They plumed while they're on the shelf,
Uh-huh.
but they weren't sitting on that lounge's shelf for that long.
They plumed on the shelf.
They just done the shelf. Like,
Right.
you know, they weren't there. It didn't look
Mhm.
like that when I put it up there.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we always say if I find one, it's like, it's a gold mine. And then you want to find that batch
Yeah.
because you know that batch has that age.
And that batch, that specific batch is highly sought after, and they're probably gonna charge a little bit more for that.
You know, most people don't understand or appreciate the plume. And like I said, there's a lot of controversy.
Okay.
So I looked in, some people say, you know, like 100 cigars were sent in and only 1 out of 100 actually had plume and the rest were mold. True cigar lovers seek after plume. They love plume. They know it just means that there's good age on cigar.
Does the yellowing or the cellophane mean anything? Is that what you see? People look at that, they get excited when the cellophane's yellow.
It means it's older.
It just means older.
Which again, no, age on tobacco is good.
Uh-huh.
And some people look at it and think, oh, that's been sitting there for a long time. I don't want it as well. But the older the cigar, if it's handled right, the smoother it continues to get.
Well, at this point now, we're going to sit back with Christine and we're going to actually start selecting our first cigars for this humidor. Okay? We'll finish this off camera, smoke a couple more, and figure out what's going to be the best for Chesapeake, Virginia. So right now, we're all smoking some DBLs, sipping different kind of whiskeys. What are you puffing on? Until next time.
Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.